Dividing polynomials practice. In this video, we're going to practice dividing polynomials, and here's a preview of the three problems that we'll be working on. So our first problem, we're dividing 3x squared minus 8x plus 2 by x minus 1. You can set this problem up using long division, which you saw an example of in the dividing polynomials video. You can pause the video if you need a little extra time, and then we'll go over the solution together. Okay, here's our problem. First, we want to set this up for long division. The first polynomial is our dividend and goes inside the division symbol, and the second polynomial that we're dividing by is the divisor, so it goes in front. When we divide, we're looking at the first term of the dividend, and we're going to divide it by the first term of the divisor. So 3x squared divided by x is 3x, and then we multiply the 3x times x minus 1, which gives us 3x squared minus 3x, and we're going to need to subtract this from the dividend. So we can put parentheses around to make sure that we subtract each of these terms. And when we do subtract, we have negative 5x. And then we bring down the next term from the dividend, which is plus 2. Okay, now we start the steps again. We divide negative 5x by x, gives us negative 5, and multiply that negative 5 times x minus 1, giving us negative 5x plus 5. We subtract, and we're left with negative 3. So our final answer is 3x minus 5 with a remainder of negative 3, or we can write it all as one polynomial with the remainder set up as a fraction. 3x minus 5 plus negative 3 over x minus 1. And here's our second practice problem. Now notice this time the problem is set up with the polynomials as a fraction, but a fraction represents division. So we're taking the numerator and dividing it by the denominator. We can rearrange it this way if that helps you when you go to set it up for long division. Okay, here's our problem written as one line, and now we can set it up for long division here. Okay, take the 2x squared divided by 2x, gives us x, multiply the x times 2x plus 3, you get 2x squared plus 3x. Subtract that from the dividend, we're left with negative 20x. Bring down the next term from the dividend. We divide negative 20x by 2x, that gives us negative 10, and multiply the negative 10 times the divisor, 2x plus 3. That gives us negative 20x minus 30. Subtract that, and we're left with negative 8. Our final solution can be written as x minus 10 with a remainder of negative 8, or x minus 10 plus negative 8 over 2x plus 3. And here's our third practice problem. Now with this particular problem, we do need to follow a couple steps before we can set it up for the long division. The previous problems that we looked at were already set up with all of the terms in the polynomial arranged going from highest degree to lowest degree, and we didn't have any missing terms in between. Here, the terms are out of order in the second polynomial, so we'll need to fix that. And we're also missing some terms, so we'll have to fill them in with zeros. And here's what will look like. Notice for the first polynomial, we didn't have a second degree term, so we can fill that in with 0x squared. And then the second polynomial, we needed to rearrange it so that the 3x squared came first, and we put the minus 1 at the end, and since we didn't have a first degree term, we filled it in with 0x. Okay, now we can set it up for long division. Okay, take the 27x cubed and divide it by 3x squared. That gives us 9x. And then we multiply the 9x times that divisor. We get 27x cubed plus 0x squared minus 9x. And then we subtract that from the dividend. We're left with positive 21x, and that will be our remainder. So we can write our solution as 9x with a remainder of 21x, or as 9x plus 21x over 3x squared minus 1. And we just finished our 3 practice problems. If you had any questions about any of these steps, you can go back and review that video on dividing polynomials. Great job.